In this video I'm going to show you a highly effective, really quick way of removing curb damage with a cordless drill. Using a 3-inch backing plate and drill spindle adapter, we can turn the cordless drill into a powerful sanding machine. 3-inch discs can be directly applied to the backing plate, or larger discs or sandpaper sheets can be cut down to size. Depending on the severity of the damage, either 180 grit or 120 grit discs can be used to begin removing the curb damage. As you can see, it's reprofiling and rounding off the damaged alloy surface. Make regular checks of your progress. Angle the machine to get in the tight spaces. Once all the curb damage marks have been removed, it's time to apply a 180 grit disc to the backing plate. At paintgear.co.uk, the full kit can be purchased. This includes the backing plate, spindle adapter, full set of all the discs you've seen in the video, sandpaper and scotch pads. The kit can be purchased in two different formats, a 1-wheel kit and also a 4-wheel kit. Alternatively, there are links to the items you see in the video in the description below. Using the exact same process as before with the 180 grit, it is now time to use the 320 discs. The aim of each grit stage is to feather out the marks left by the previous grits. The final stage of damage removal with the sanding disc is 400 grit sandpaper. Used discs can be used for hand sanding and also refining any areas that were hard to reach with the buffer. Hand sand in exactly the same way as you did with the machine, working up the grades all the way up to 400. Fine sanding, refining and finishing prep work should be done with wet and dry paper. In this case, I will be using water along with 600 grit wet and dry and also 1000 wet and dry. Both of these grades are included in the paint gear kit. Using water and the fine grade sandpapers, refine all the areas that we have sanded. It's at this stage that the difference is made between a good job and an excellent job. Here I'm using a grey scotch to key all the surface area of the alloy. It's important that each surface is keyed thoroughly so that the paint applications will stick. Once keyed properly, the area should look dull. Any shiny areas need to be keyed further. The next stage is to mask off all the tyre area, also masking off the tyre valve. Alternatively to masking tape, playing cards can be used and slotted into where the tyre wall meets the alloy. Once the masking is complete, all areas must be panel wiped and degreased. Ensuring all areas are clean is an extremely important stage in the process. Contamination at this stage will affect the overall finish of the repair. Once sanded, refined and wet sanded with fine grained paper and panel wiped, your repair should start to look like this. You can at this stage paint your wheel. However, it is recommended that you use primer to seal in the exposed alloy surfaces and ensure a good even coverage of your paint application process. After thoroughly shaking your primer can, apply the primer across the wheel. The first coat should be a light coat. Leave the primer to dry for approximately 10 minutes, depending on temperature. Apply a second, heavier, more thorough coat to the entire wheel surface. Leave this to dry for a further 10 to 20 minutes depending on temperature and manufacturing instructions of the aerosol. Once fully cured and sanded with 600 grit sandpaper, it's time for your paint application. This can be done in any colour you choose. It can be done in aerosol or with a mini spray gun. The first coat should be a light coat. Apply evenly across the whole wheel. Systematically apply to each inner spoke area and difficult to reach areas such as the nut holes. Make sure you also apply paint to the area between the wheel and the edge of the rim. Often, a big mistake people make is applying too much paint too soon. Leaving the first coat 5 to 10 minutes to dry, it's time to apply the second coat. Apply 2 to 3 evenly spaced out coats. Check regularly that the whole area and all the primer is covered. A nice even silver layer should now have been achieved. Having been left to cure for 10 to 15 minutes, it's time to apply some clear lacquer. Any lacquer can be used, but I recommend using a good 2K lacquer as it's more durable and you'll achieve a much better finish. Alternatively, 2K lacquer can also be purchased in aerosol form. As with applying the base coat, the first layer should be a light coat. The second coat, also known as a wet coat, should be a heavier coat. ensure all areas including inside the spokes have been covered. Once fully covered, the whole wheel entire surface should look shiny. Here we have the finished results and an excellent repair. Once back on the car, the wheels have been restored to their factory finish. Thank you for watching, and please check my other videos, subscribe to my page and comment below.